What does it mean to dream about elves? You don't have to be the biggest Lord of the Rings fan or a fan person of any kind of medieval fantasy lore. You don't even have to care all that much about World of Warcraft or any other game that features elves to be interested enough for these magical and mystical creatures to show up in your dreams. A lot of people get freaked out when they dream about elves, but in reality, dreaming about an elf is not all that distressing. In fact, if you pay close attention to the contextual cues of your elf dreams, they may point you to certain insights that can actually help you level up whatever it is that you are struggling with. That's how life-changing, sometimes, elf dreams can be. So let's dig in to the general meaning of this type of dream, and I'm going to explain and analyze different contextual variations of the same dream symbol. What does it mean to dream of an elf? If you're dreaming of an elf, and I'm talking about a singular mystical being, this can symbolize your subconscious trying to draw your attention for either your need for inner wisdom, creativity, and a connection to nature, or trying to wake you up to your existing ability. That's right, you may be wiser than you give yourself credit for. You may be more creative than you care to realize. The truth is, you have what it takes. The question is, are you going to polish it? Are you going to be curious enough so you can connect with a deeper level of wisdom? This can also mean that there are certain things in your life, certain situations, challenges, and whatnot, where you need to tap into your inner wisdom. For whatever reason, maybe you're thinking you're just too busy, or you have better things to think about. Well, you might want to cultivate this side of your personality because it can lead to major breakthroughs. Elves, generally speaking, are also associated with magic, imagination, and a playful spirit. So if you find yourself stuck in a rut or feeling bored with certain aspects of your life, seeing elves in your dream, whether singular or plural, can indicate a realization that it doesn't have to be boring, that your life doesn't have to go on autopilot. You have a playful spirit. You might want to tap that and let it lead you to a more fulfilling existence. What does it mean to dream of multiple elves? If you see elves, and I'm talking about plural here, it may suggest that you need to surround yourself with people who are imaginative and creative. In many cases, this could also mean that the people that you already hang out with already possess imagination and creativity. They can trigger this aspect of your persona. The problem is, you look at them differently. You look at their practical side. You look at the other aspects of their total persona outside of their imagination and creativity. That's why you don't see them as particularly creative or imaginative. But if you decided to pay closer attention to them, they're actually quite deep, fun, mysterious, and mystical even. So the key here is if you are feeling like, if you're feeling like you need some sort of creative boost, you might want to just hang out with your friends more often. Pay close attention to them. They may either be creative enough to help you with a solution, or they may trigger this aspect of your personality and can inspire all sorts of wild and interesting ideas from you. There is such a thing as collective attitude. Attitudes are very infectious, so you have to be very careful who you hang out with. And if you hang out with the right people, you basically bounce ideas against each other, and the cumulative effect of those ideas is not just arithmetical, meaning it compounds one at a time. Instead, it can be exponential. That is the power of inspiration and intuition, and you can only do that when you surround yourself with the right people. What does it mean to dream of an elf village or kingdom? One of the weirdest dreams you could ever have involving elves is to see a vast vista open up in front of you, and after the mist dissipates, you see a magical kingdom, complete with castles, banners in the sky, and all sorts of fantastical images. It's as if you are seeing a real-life Disneyland unveil itself in front of you. What this fantastic imagery is referring to and is symbolizing is that you have this fantasy land inside you. And it's not negative. It is not childish. It is not pointless. In fact, if you really want to look at it for what it is your secret weapon. Because everybody can grow old, and they do. When I say grow old, I'm talking about shutting oneself to new possibilities and focusing on what we think we know. I mean, there's a place for this type of thinking, but if this is your default attitude, you basically shut out a lot of the fun stuff that life has to offer, because there are all sorts of new things. There are all sorts of mysterious things that you basically have to be curious about for you to unlock, and you basically put all that away. You remove it from the table when you start thinking like an old person. When you start seeing elf villages or kingdoms in your dream, your subconscious is telling you, you still have that spark. You still have that need for an imaginative release or escape. Instead of being embarrassed about it, celebrate it, embrace it, because this is that special place locked up inside your mind that you can tap into if you need that creative boost. Of course, people might think you're weird, but that's a small price to pay for the kind of creative jolt that you need to break out of your daily routine. What does it mean to dream of an elf helping you? If you see an elf helping you in your dream, this can indicate that you need to receive guidance and support from somebody with a deeper level of inner wisdom or from a higher power. I don't know how spiritual you are, but the truth is, we are all connected, and there is something far greater than us that is sustaining everything. You can put many different labels on this, and the most obvious label that comes to mind is God. But regardless of the label you choose to believe in or not believe in, there is this higher power, there is this connection, this universal consciousness, if you will. Regardless of how you articulate it, part of you is longing for it. Part of you is feeling empty, spent, tired, and is looking for some sort of inner guidance that will not only support you through tough times, but also help you see your life and what you've done so far from a completely new perspective, which actually brings back to life your full potential. I can't quite articulate it because different people have different words for it, but you feel it. And if you are listening and watching this video, pay close attention. This is the universe speaking to you for your need for deeper inner wisdom and a sense of connection. The elf in your dream that is helping you is trying to remind you that you need to access your own innate abilities and resources. Christians call this key faith. Other religions or spiritual traditions have different terms for it. Regardless, you need to turn the key. You'll be surprised what is at the other end of the door. Just a quick reminder, if you are enjoying this video, please click the like button and hit subscribe. Please be sure to click the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of our updates. Thanks a lot. Now let's get back to our dream analysis. What does it mean to dream of an elf giving you a gift? It's very important to differentiate this dream from the previous dream that I just analyzed. In the previous dream, the help that the elf gives you takes many different forms. They can help you with a building project, they can help you with a little bit of money, or they can just be there to listen to you. They're helping you with their counsel and their presence. In this type of dream, it's more specific. They're giving you a gift. It's not like a symbolic gift. It's not some sort of magical incantation. No, they are giving you a physical gift. In fact, in most iterations of this dream, the gift is your stereotypical gift box, complete with a bow and a ribbon. If you see this type of dream, it can symbolize that you are receiving a special blessing. Pay close attention to what I just said. You are receiving, meaning it's already happening. It's not about to happen. It's not predicted to happen. It's not even scheduled to happen. Instead, it's already happening right now as we speak. Your subconscious sends you this type of message in many different ways and using different symbols to let you know that sometimes you have a problem appreciating the good things or positive things that are happening in your life. Believe it or not, this is more common than most people think because we tend to focus on the things that are going wrong. As they say in the news business, if it bleeds, it leads. Nobody really goes out of their way and interrupts their schedule to listen to good news. But everybody will make time if the news anchor is speaking about a disaster that just happened. Do you see how the human mind works? Do you see basic human psychology? Well, don't be surprised if most of your mental and emotional firepower is spent on putting out fires or looking for things that are going wrong. In reality, there are many things that are happening in your life that are quite positive. Your subconscious is showing you through the image of an elf giving you an unmistakable gift to wake up to these positive things. Understand what went right. Figure it out so you can replicate it and scale it up. Otherwise, you're going to start looking at life as a sheer lottery. Sometimes you're up, a lot of times you're down, and on it goes. That's not exactly a recipe for a well-lived life. So pay close attention to the blessings that are happening in your life. Try to understand how they came about and tap into your personal imagination and planning skills to make them happen or at least scale them up. This is a key part of becoming an adult. This is a crucial component to becoming a master of your own life. What does it mean to dream of an elf transforming into something else? In The Lord of the Rings, many people were shocked to find out that the orcs, which is the bad guy, which are the bad guys in that narrative, originally started out as elves. In other words, demons were not created to be demons. They all started out as something positive. Now, this has a lot to do with the spiritual and personal ideology of J.R.R. Tolkien, but he's tapping into a classic idea. This idea has no geographic origin. The idea is that everything started out good, but along the way, things went wrong, and now we're living in a corrupted world. We're living in a world that has fallen and broken beyond repair. This is why there's a tremendous amount of frustration. That's why there's also a lot of evil in the world. You can't quite explain it, but it happens, and it's heartbreaking. A lot of these elements play out in your nighttime vision in the symbol of an elf transforming into something else. You have this very beautiful and enchanting creature morphing in front of your very eyes into something else. What your dream is trying to tell you is that you should not get stuck on absolutes. Understand that every sinner used to be a saint and vice versa. We all have demons and angels in our makeup. But if we look to define ourselves only as 100% good or 100% bad, we're really cheating ourselves of our own humanity, because every person is capable of the most amazing kindness, while at the same time capable of the most unspeakable brutality. This is a very heavy dream, because your subconscious is telling you that you are judging many people in your life in terms of absolutes, when in reality, if you're completely honest with yourself, you're not really all that far removed from them. I'm not going to go any further into this analysis, but I think you get my point. It is very heavy, it is very philosophical, but if you apply it, it's actually quite practical, because it makes you a more forgiving person, and you're able to deal with reality as it is instead of how you imagine it should be. Very big deal. What does it mean to dream of an elf being mischievous or playful? This is a common media depiction of an elf. Being a mystical and magical creature, it's supposed to be playful. Well, when your dreams involve this type of imagery, your subconscious is suggesting to you that you should embrace your own sense of fun, spontaneity, and childlike wonder. This is especially helpful for people who are stuck in a rut. If you think your relationships suck because they're boring, or if you think your job is worthless because you go in every single day, punch the clock, in and out, and there's not much fun in it, there's not much value in it, then you need to sit up and pay attention. You have to understand that you can make anything fun. It all boils down to your attitude. The problem is, you have reached a point in your life where you expect the world to come to you. You expect the world to entertain you. You expect people around you to bend over backwards to make life enjoyable for you. And I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you, but it doesn't work that way. If you want fun, spontaneity, and a sense of adventure, you have to take the first step. You have to find what's fun. You have to find what's interesting in every situation you find yourself in. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in the same situation as Satan in Paradise Lost. To paraphrase Satan's monologue, he said, "Everywhere I go, hell goes with me." So hell is not a place. It is an attitude. It is something that you bring to a specific place and a specific time. So if you understand the meaning of that, then you will be able to find what is fun, spontaneous, and amazing, regardless of where you are. And this is one superpower that nobody can take away from you. It's completely your own, and it can help lead you to all sorts of breakthroughs in your life. Because the worst thing that can happen is for a person to think that they are somehow, some way, a prisoner of their life. They're this victim that's just been thrust into this invisible prison and they can't get out. Talk about frustrating. But it doesn't have to be that way. You hold the key. What does it mean to dream of an elf being angry or hostile? One of the funniest yet most distressing dreams you can have is this mystical, magical creature getting all upset. Sure, they may be cussing, but eventually they're gonna reach for their elf knife, and that's when things get real. Dreaming of an elf being angry or hostile can suggest that you are experiencing some inner conflict when it comes to your sense of creativity. I'm not talking about painting, singing, composing poems. I'm not talking about that level of creativity. I'm talking about the dimension of creativity that involves you turning the ideas floating around in your head, or the things that you talk about and fantasize about, into a reality that you can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. This is the power that most human beings have, but unfortunately most of us have trained ourselves or have bought into certain limiting ideas that we basically block ourselves from creating the world that we feel we deserve. But all of us have this power, and we tend to celebrate people who exercise this power routinely. I'm talking about people like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. What do they all have in common? They start with ideas, and those ideas are not just empty words or empty bragging or boasting that nobody takes seriously. Instead, they act on those ideas. They have faith in them. They live them and breathe them until those ideas become companies. Companies that change the world. Companies that leave an impact. Companies that have a legacy. We all have this power, but in many cases, our version is a little bit more humble. Maybe starting a family, maybe working a career, starting a small business. Regardless, the same processes and the same dynamics are at play. You start with an idea, it gets you pumped up and excited, you act on it, and then things start to happen. Of course, there's a lot of ups and downs, there are lots of setbacks. That's life. In fact, any failure that you experience all the way to you achieving your big dream is a tuition that you pay. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to go through that. So they rob themselves of that ability in exchange for the security of mediocrity. I wish I could frame it or phrase it in a more palatable way, but you need to wake up. I need to wake up. Everybody needs to wake up because we have this power, this creative power in us, yet we waste it living, as a famous author once said, quiet, desperate, anonymous lives. You have a choice. You can be a hero. You can overcome. You can create new worlds. You just have to tap into this inner creativity that you already have. Thank you for watching this video. We appreciate your support. If you haven't done so already, please click the like button and hit subscribe. Please be sure to click the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of our updates. If you have any dreams you'd like us to interpret and analyze, please leave those in the comments. Be as descriptive as you can. Don't leave out any details. We read every comment and we do make custom interpretation videos that we post to our channel. To support our mission of helping people all over the world live their best lives by tapping the power of their dreams, please click the share button and share this video on all your social media accounts. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one.